ああ。あ、決定と戻るパス止まるね。逆ね。オッケー。開始。あ、手強い。手強えんゲームの難易度。これゲーム分かりにくいな。普通なのかハードなのか分かんない。より手強いだから多分これはハード。これノーマルだ。まあ、ノーマルでいいや。餌食は語る。
Oh, I do apologize. Am I disturbing you?
No, please. Do come in, Mrs.
My name is Miss Alice de Bouvier. I'm Mr. Holmes' new neighbor.
Oh, I didn't have the pleasure to...
英語か。
I am Dr. John Watson. Could we provide you with any assistance?
Oh, she is not the concern, Watson.
I'm... Then, what is this about?
That child standing sniffling behind her. Get rid of him, Watson.
But he is shivering with cold. And he is upset. What happened to him?
Little Tom knocked at the wrong door.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, boy, come in. Warm yourself by the fire. Can I offer you a cup of tea, Mr. Bouvier?
Well,
It is not as though we are disturbing you-know-who. Are we?
I suppose not.
Since you are our new neighbor, it is perhaps better that you know what he's like.
You're starting to worry me.
Well, Mr. Holmes is relapsing. This illness that he has seizes him when he finds himself with nothing to do. He becomes completely asocial. And alas, this is a very difficult, medically incurable case. Now this must stay between us.
Of course, I understand. How very sad.
But there is a cure, if only a temporary one. A thrilling inquiry. Most certainly. If he refuses this one, then his condition will worsen.
Oh, I am still here, you know. I didn't fall out of the window. Very well, then.
Thank you, miss.
組み立てよう。細かく。ああ、もう推理モードね。なになになにトムは8歳。お、なんか1個上がった。これ全部できるんでしょ。はい。こんな医療知識じゃん。これは泣き晴らした。帰れんのこれ。そんな。思いやりのある漁師。まあな、目だけだよ。結膜とか分かるわけないや。ロンドンの地図。先天性異常もないよな。怪我でしょ。不正確な人物だ。間違えたってこと？またかよ。これ変えるしかねえじゃん。あ？これは違う。どういうこと？もう帰れない。操作がわからん。また始まっちゃったよ。どういうこと？あ、間違えた。
Now tell me, boy,
あ、そういう
what
こと？
brings you here?
It's my father, sir. He's missing. I don't know what to do.
あ、間違えた。間違えた。四角って出すから。
Missing, eh? And what do the police say?
The police, they don't believe me. They say he's just abandoned me.
何今の
But
四角。
that's a lie.
あ、どういうこと？
What's his name?
George Hurst, sir.
And when was the last time you saw him?
3 weeks ago. He left for a new job. But this time, he was acting a bit strange and angry.
Strange. In what way?
He said to me, "Son, I'm out on a special job. Don't you dare move from here." I think something went wrong.
3 weeks. That's a long time.
Well, every day...
ないないないないないない。あ？自分のことぐらい自分でできるから。これだな。
What do you mean, sir?
Nothing. I was digressing.
なあ、わけわからん。
Very well. Your address, please, Tom.
12 Dorset Street, the first floor, door E. It's in Whitechapel, sir. But I ain't got no money to pay.
Who asked for money, Tom? Your case seems to be the very medicine I need. I'll meet you there shortly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
いやー、チュートリアルもなしか。
My analysis table. It's useful for my work.
Poor child. Holmes, you should help him.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire. A map of London and its surroundings.
走れ。
My archive. I can always
着替えれんの。おお。僕それは普段。シャアクト。これがいいじゃん。これかっこいい。あ、いいね。アサシンクリードみたいな。
Watson documents our adventures in here. Watson documents our adventures in here.
まあいいや。イマジネーションは非常によりますだろう。R1 と L1 でなんか違う。走れ。おお、FPS になる。ファストトラベルじゃん。あれどうセットしたの。やべえ、意外とロード長えぞ。合ってたのかな。
These streets are too narrow for the cab. I'll have to walk.
あ、柱を見つけた。
North Street.
ノースストリート。どうせストリート。
Sorry, I'm working. I can't open the door.
経験本物するのこれ。ここでブランド。 いいって書いてある。
Tis our home, Mr.
よ
Holmes.
く見つけたな、これ。
The roof leaks all the time. Father used to fix it.
四角。何も変わらないね。
Hurst covered his bills ahead of time, thus providing Tom with
My mother, sir. She died when...
I'm sorry, Tom.
Please, sir, find my father.
So that's why you came to see me. Tom probably reads at night.
あれ？あ、もう全部見終わった。
Tom probably reads. A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George Hurst.
Father bought all those...
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks. Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup. A clever concoction for somebody with a...
ちょっと待ってよ。これにしてもない。お。
Old clothes. Soil.
どうやって調べる？
The old Tabard pub, North Street.
ノーストリートさっき行ったとこだよ。
Glue. Probably taken from a wall.
証拠だ。
Old clothes.
おお。
It's too dark. I can't see anything.
操作性は最悪だな。じゃあこのロスコン元。おお。当たりだ。
A leather satchel. What's in it?
Oh.
Just some old thing.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it. But if you've got any proper work for me...
I just might be in need of your assistance later. Wait here.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins. 違う。お。違えじゃん。
North Street. North Street.
喋ってくれる。酒場。お。
I need to Earwig to find out who is offering this special job.
一瞬四角とか出る。絶対こいつよね、盗聴って。耳が赤いだけ。え
？There's no one to eavesdrop on from here.
耳赤いといっぱいおる。
Equality for the working class.
I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself. Or to Watson.
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers. The child labour law sent your kids to school instead of the coal mine.
There's no one to eavesdrop on from here. There's no one to eavesdrop on from here.
The longer the picket line, the shorter the strike.
No gods, no masters.
No. That fellow who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
So, the man I'm looking for has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
The longer the picket line, the shorter the strike.
No gods, no masters.
めっちゃ酒飲んでるわこいつ。ヒゲだけだろ。なんだこれ。じゃあこっちに座ってこいつが何飲んでるかってこと。お水。
This must be the man that I'm looking for.
あれ？ なんもねえなら勝手に飛ばせ。
Interesting. A missing person. I should find out more.
Child labour, look.
Dump the bosses off your backs.
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
あ、俺が操作するの。見失ったよ。
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
I couldn't pay my rent last week.
Pumpkin! Cabbage! Cheap!
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs.
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
Stupid kid.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous.
What are you waiting for?
Please, you don't have to beat him. I'll do it. I'll clean the chimney.
Go on then.
He's still here, that's a relief.
スキップっていうとこがある。
Where did he come from?
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
うるせえ。
No place to hide here. We'd better go through the yard.
Oi, what are you doing in my garden?
庭を通っていこう。ちょっと待って。もう庭通れんよ。あばやばやばやばやば。
Look at that crawling rat.
くぐっていくのが正解だったんだ。ああ。ちゃうちゃうちゃうちゃうちゃう。
Get away from me, boy.
ああ。どっから微妙に戻るな。
Where did he come from?
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
Oi, what are you doing in my garden?
どっかくぐるとこがある。ああ。わかるか。ここから出るんだろうけど。あばばばばばバレてるバレてる。これ出なきゃいいんだな。 戻ってこなかったんだ。
Crawling rat.
あれ？
I know that boy. He's Shoeshine Jim from Chamber Street. He's mute because his drunk stepfather beat him. Hey, Jim. Can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes. It's dirty. I should use a damp cloth.
なんだこ
Hurry up. This could be... Did you fall
れ。
asleep?
ゲーム。
This could be useful with a small... What did you... Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
おーい。なんで借りたんだよ。むずすぎる。
He's talking with a cabbie. I need to get closer.
マジで。あれじゃん。
Damn! I need to find another one.
At last, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
I'm praying it doesn't get cold again. I've no money for coal.
I can't lose him now.
Well, first of all,
Ah, I've lost him.
え何を失敗したかわからん。
I can't lose him now.
あれね。クソゲーな予感がしてきたぞ。
Interesting. What's going on in the yard?
Interesting.
Locked.
Locked. ここだ。入っちゃうの。不法侵入だよ。お、開いちゃった。あれ？マジで
Wow, a lot of Oh, a coat of arms. It might help Mr. Holmes. It's too dangerous to enter.
誰かいる？
I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside.
どうやって見たの？
Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me. Bags of food. I like this house. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Wigan's tale was quite unusual. What do you make of what he found, Holmes?
Wiggins did a good job.
Holmes, we need to help poor Tom.
That's not the one I need.
Yeah. 途方もねえな。全然知らんわ。だるい。どれでもいいよ。本当にホームズ好きじゃないとダメだな、これは。ヒーローの研究はもう本当ホームズの話だもんな。その絵すらまともに見えんし。あ、間違いだ。あ、ちげえじゃん。新聞って書いてある。なんだよ。歴史とかじゃないな。これしかないな。
That's not.
あ？
That's not.
急に喋んなよ。めんどくせえ。
That's not. Here
Oh.
it is.
何かわからんけど。
So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord who hangs around in a public house. Let's pay a visit to Lord Marsh. We'll pretend that we're interested in his charitable activities.
Miss...
Holmes, you have a visitor.
Oh, just ask him to wait.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did you guess?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
ぶっ細工やな。
But you'll make Watson jealous.
All right, then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
ハドソンさんだ。さあ行くぞ。お、朝ドラ見た。
Holmes, about Caitlin.
Yes?
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
ホームズじゃねえんだ。
Come in, please.
失礼します。
Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to my home. How may I help you?
Good day to you, Lord Marsh. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
観察タイム。目が体調不良寝不足。これはヴァンパイアだよ。体調不良ではかくなのか。わかんねえ。体調不良かな。なんでもいいや。病気、足の病気とか、でも車椅子じゃねえな。鎮痛剤となると、これは隠しているというか病気かな。これなんでどっちかなの読めばわかんじゃねえの。ロードマーシュなんちゃらってか見えるけど。腫瘍プロネジドクターだ。完成したぞ。正解じゃん。やったー。トム失敗。 成功だ。このお医者さん25歳なんだ。
I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London?
Yes. It is a war that we must fight, on our streets and now too from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
見覚えがあります。これさっきの歩いとったやつ。
Forgive me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you, but I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care that he requires.
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't fuss.
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me, Doctor. Oddly, I'm associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord Marsh. It offers the less fortunate a chance to help make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes, but also insight. And Lord Marsh has believed this since he was a child.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic.
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people.
A provision dealing with the paupers of Whitechapel. Lord Marsh, hunting with his...
Ah, my dear comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this godforsaken English malady, I'd... all in due time.
Last year, 3 orphans were put through... Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program. Thanks to Lord Marsh.
Oh? 河川を引くってなんだ。ストローブリってストローなんちゃらってさっき聞いた気がするんだけどな。お父さんいないな。
John Strobridge. I've seen this name before. It was on a missing persons poster. I can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their lives?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand. We'll most certainly send a donation towards your educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both, and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
なんだろう、三角。手掛かり組み合わせ、それは本当に推論を組み立てる。化学する場合、その組み合わせができないこと。拒否。そういうことね。ほんで、お、ほんで、あ、どっちだってことか。特殊な仕事、特別教育課程とこれのことじゃねえの。でもいや、なかなかむずいな。どっちでもいいのこれ。むずくね。もう全部片っ端からダメじゃん。もうないじゃん。
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
It appears that Lord Marsh spent a great deal of his money on aiding the poor.
こんな物色していいのか。
Locked.
Oh! 水陸空間部屋。むずっ。これでエンディング変わってくるのかな。あー、むずっ。 ストトラベルが長いのが困るな。シャキン。
Mr. Holmes, do you have any news about my father?
Tom, not so fast. I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh, yeah. I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful. This oil can also be used on weapons. A ramrod to clean a rifle. Wolfjack. Looks like a military badge. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle. This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm. Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. Well, at least I don't think so.
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle. George Hurst's work.
1ってそれだけでファーストトラベルしろと。
Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep. Watson?
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health.
でまた行かなきゃでしょ。ああ。
Search, Toby, search.
また俺が操作かよ。まだぶつけれるか。お、見えた見えた見えた。この緑色のだ。ついてこい、ホームズ。お？
It's only a garden shed. Let's go on.
騙された。多分引っ掛けたな。一番最後の方にある気がする。
What's in there?
これ当たりだろ。おお。なるほど。
People use this cellar for storage. Nothing that could interest me. Just some old things. It's not here.
どうせ最後の方だろう。
Old things. Just rubbish. Tom's photograph. Let's try to get inside.
ピッキングツールを使い、留め金を持ち上げてウォールピンですね。挿入できるようにしよう。選ぶといっても。そういうこと？これ。ピッキングわけがわからん。
News clippings on Lords in the education program.
死んでんのか。
Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found. This is the list of selected participants for October's special education program. According to this poster, John Strobridge is missing. Let's compare them with people from Hearst documents.
ハーストの文書。お、パトリック・タナー合ってるよ。どういうこと？ こうやって引いて、こうか。
This man appears in both documents.
トーマス、ウィリアム・サッチャー。バツってなんだろう。ジョンだけ載ってないのか。いるわ。
All the people in Marsh's document are marked and dated in George Hearst's files.
Oh. B 班、C 班。父ちゃん名前なんだっけ？ジョージ・ハーストか。 シャギー推理モードだ。これと行方不明でしょ。教育課程に関するこれそう。お前全部やればいいや。ダメ。 揃った。ジョージアで特殊な仕事が帰ることはないと考え、特に分からん手紙まで。特殊な仕事から帰ることはないと考え。別れなさい。 トムに渡してはいない。まだ生きている可能性がある。まあ希望にかけるか。変な方向にね生えてるから違う気がする。だって上行かないもん。こっちじゃね。ほらなんか繋がった気がするもん。 全然わかんない。あ、どっちだね。もう推測でしかない。ジャック。 ジャックって誰かいたの？さっき。ジョージ・ハーストの名誉ある軍人と戦う。軍人になってんの。
This case must have been full of cartridges.
軍人だった。
There was something on the stand.
銃だな、ここに。
There was a rifle here. George Hearst took it with him.
おお、初めて一発いた。追い越しかな。よっき。
A map of Epping Forest.
フォレストの地図。地図ないじゃん。S 班は全員×だ。戦争に行って死んだってこと？で次何するの？調査せよ。おお。違うな、まだこれやれってことか。おお、つながったぞ。やめると、おお、なるほどね。おお、ハウスとか知っている。なるほど。適当でいい。マーシュが原子の組み情報を明らかにする。そうか。マーシュ教の家。
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom. The window is firmly shut.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Oh, you're so clumsy. Can you please not...
I have to visit Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
Fisher, please, allow Dr. Watson to enter.
Good job, Watson.
ホームズ下手くそか。
I can hide here.
身を隠せる。本気で言ってんのか。何？あ、届けってこと？ん？いや、平行移動させてどうする？感謝してる人がいるんだな。でも何？グリーン好きを
Lord Marsh is a keen.
推理は後にして。
Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you allow me to examine you? A second opinion, so that the great Lord Marsh does not become the late Lord Marsh.
Well, since you put it that way, very well.
Shall I retire to your office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
でも完全にかけ方戻さなくていいのかな、あれ。絶対バレるだろ。あいつがでも事務室に来んのかな。音が聞こえる場所が見つかるまで。お、ここだ。BGM 邪魔。これだ。今あったね。ほら。
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
Holmes, come here! This is serious. Holmes, come here! This is serious. Holmes, come here! This is serious.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh. My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. I need to take a sample.
やれよ。ガラスはどこにあった？見えねえ。そこは自動なのかよ。
Let us apply chemical. I need a pipette.
どれでもいいの アルコールわからん。
This chemical should be applied third.
どれだよ一番。これ一回やる。俺のコマンドいる？
Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope. I need a sample.
はい、設置。おかしな要素も何も。どれがおかしくねえのか。おお、なんかいた。
Mycobacterium. It appears that Lord Marsh is seriously ill. Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, but... Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes. It's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
I can't wait to tell all my friends about this.
Roof Jack.
That's not... That's not... Here it is.
どうなんだそうすると。これは意外と新聞と百科事典。百科事典。間違えた。新聞かな。グランストンオーク。いや、わかんねえな。
That's not the one I need.
教育課ってどうなの？
That's not...
違うのか。調べても出てこんで。でも見つけないとダメそうだ。間違えた。ペラドンヌってスカイリムが出てきたな。
That's not...
新聞？あ、地図を見ればいいのか？
A map of London and its surroundings.
違うか。地図持ってるよね。ないわ。
My archive.
さあ。これって新聞じゃねえよな。あるわけねえもんな。
Here it is.
Oh.
Johnston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map.
魔女たちがいたところ。エッピングフォレストにある。どこにあるの？地図で見つける。これか。
Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map.
おお。一致するところを探す。見えない。三つ道が生えてる。この黄色い線の道じゃないのか。これは電車か。これ川と一致するんじゃないこれ。おお。
Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Kate, Wiggins is not the sort of boy you should be socializing with.
So he's perfect then.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
どんな手がかりが出てきた。あ？おお、来た来た来た来た。よし、行きましょうか。 っきの撃たれてる。撃たれとるやん。
Let's see how long you can stay alive.
誰に追われてんだ。危ねえ。
Where is he?
そい。おお。やばいやばいやばいやばい。おお。まだまだ休憩しよう。ああ。小道だ小道。 隠れろ。危ねえ。うろいけ。誰の声。弾込めても聞こえる。足撃たれるじゃん。ああ。そんな下まで見ないといけない。やばい。足のやつないか。いろいろ気を使う。逃げろホームズ。隠れるとこねえよ。ちょうどいい時期。比較のこっちにある。ちょうどいい。ちょうどいいんだもん。あ、撃たれてる。これはでも48時間後だよね。
He was poor. This man was killed.
Find him, boys. Find him. I saw something.
スタート。あー危ねえ。セーフか今。
Where have you gone? I saw something.
こっちだろ。今滑りってなんだ。あ、死んだ。岩滑りってなんだよ。あ、いけいけいけい。あ、一番早いけど、ソトラぐらい早くしとく。いやー、危ね。 やばいやばいやばいやばい。あぶね。当たんねえじゃん。ああ。安全な道ですね。安全じゃない道筋がある。無理無理無理無理。当たんねえな。
Don't worry, no one's going to find your body.
心配するな。ああ。え、これで死ぬの
？Don't worry, no one's going to find your body.
ああ、引っかかってる。微妙にこれがずれた。
You scampering little rat.
どこ行くんだろう。こっち？やばい、隠れるとこね。横移動。これなら当たんねえじゃん。下手くそだよ。隠れなくていいや。
I'm following your tracks.
避けたるわい。
You scampering little rat.
まだ追いかけられる。おお。
He was killed by a shot to the forehead. My God, it's Lord Harrington's body. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound.
超走れるよ。
I can hide here.
身を隠せると来るな。
The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin. This will help. Someone's coming. I better hide.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovat Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging, you festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
ジョージ・ハーストでもお父ちゃんじゃん。 どう見てもあ、それとかこれがでもやっぱり、いやどうだろうな、それは後にして逆恨み、これがまずわかんない。お、なんか出てきた。森で貧民と貴族を飼っている。マーシュと友人は森で貧民たちを飼っている。ジョージ・ハーストが飼ってんのか。マーシュは人かい。あ、でも全部つながってるやん。ちょっと待って。ジョージ・ハーストは犠牲者の復讐を望んでいるだけで。これが逆の推理だと多分ジョージ・ハーストがなのか。マーシュ教の病の治る見込みがない。自宅で死を待ちながら向き合う。有罪にし刑務所に入れる。何これ、どうなんの。有罪か無罪を選べる。英語が殺人できる。まあ殺人鬼ってことであれば有罪にするしかねえ。はあ、そういうことね。モラルね。よろしいです。
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George, listen to me. If you're seeking an apt punishment and vengeance, killing Marsh will give him exactly what he wants. He would die knowing that he had fulfilled his life through his absolute control of it. But if you allow Marsh to live and be arrested, he will suffer a punishment far greater than you or I could deliver. His ball and chain will be the debilitating tuberculosis. It will drag him painfully and slowly to his demise behind bars.
You're mad! You're both mad!
Let's go and find Tom.
Not just yet. See, Lord Marsh, you will die here. Although not by the gun. You'll die slowly.
Don't do this, George.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice.
Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
Mr. Hurst, you have already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
What? 殺す、有罪にして殺すか殺さないかも決めんのか。結論を確認する。お、手がかりマックスで見つけてる。これは結論ね。別の結論を出す。もういいや、受け入れよう。行こう行こう。 緑の研究。第2章だ次。
Yes! Well done, Watson!
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no.
Ah!
Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible. And where are we going, Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave.
ふさわしい服。これか。
Mr. Holmes, you played very well yesterday. I'm obliged to you, Sir Charles. I play many outdoor sports. That's the key to my success. My friend Dr. Watson has decided to join me.
Really? Mr. Holmes, would you like to see the first prize? A rare stone Mayan Quiche calendar.
Mayan Quiche?
Indeed. Their legendary king, Tekun Uman, has his statue just behind you. Although this one is a cast metal copy.
That? Oh.
Well, since only members may enter the clubhouse, we have exhibited the calendar outside. Please, explore.
I'd like to win the Mayan calendar. It's a beautiful work of art.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad you are my opponent for the final.
This'll keep Watson happy. This'll keep Watson happy.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, are you ready to begin the final game?
Yes. Let's start the final.
なんだこのつまらないこんな当てれるわけねえだろ。そいあ 本当はめっちゃ弱く投げとけばよかったのか。あ、でも近くにしちゃうと相手も当てれちゃうな。なんでこのカーブ前提なんだ。来た。そい。うわー、むずっ。むずすぎるだろ。そうそう当てんじゃねこいつ。おっべー。俺も左から投げたいんだけど投げれんじゃん。ここでいいよ。そい。全然じゃん。楽しくね。これ勝たないとダメなのかな。お前も早く当てろよ。さっきので力弱い方がいいのかな。お来た。よしよしよしよし来た。あれあれ当てたよ俺。なんで俺ゼロなの。どういうこと。なんでこれは楽しくないしルールが分からない。
Congratulations on your game, Mr. Holmes. Exceptional. The awards ceremony will be tomorrow morning. See you then to receive your prize of the calendar. I trust you will be there as well, Dr. Watson?
Unfortunately, I'll be unable to attend tomorrow. Duty calls.
Ah, what a pity.
Let's go home.
My congratulations, Mr. Holmes.
トロフィーとかなるんだろうな。大体次の日に表彰式出席せよ。今からうちに帰ろうよ。
Let's go home.
何もなさそう。
Let's go home.
ホームズ優勝してるやん。よかった自分じゃなくて。
The first prize, the Mayan Quiche calendar. This statue is made of metal.
Daddy.
Hello, Mr. Bouvier.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Caitlin?
Your costume.
Oh, don't you like it?
Oh, I do.
Caitlin, come on. Show some respect for your father.
これは俺の想像でしかないのかな。いや、これはこの人魔術的な気がする。リストカットだし自殺未遂だ。これもなんか魔術的なやつ。どこだ？と1個どっか。おー、確認。はい当たり。
You know, Father, Miss Alice was telling me all about her travels. She has already toured the world with her own father.
Your daughter is exquisite.
And just to think that she was aboard the Orient Express when it was attacked. What a dream.
Indeed.
She's so creative and imaginative. And that reminds me, would you allow Caitlin to visit me so that she can practice playing the piano?
全部ダメじゃん。全部ダメじゃん。全然いいのに。
It's very kind of you, but I decided that Caitlin should stop playing the piano.
Oh, Father, why did you say that?
Caitlin, we are neighbours. We'll meet again. Until then, I shall leave you with this book.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
今のあれいるか。あ、表彰式だ。
The statue did it. It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Pshaw. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I'm a simple Consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector.
Inspector?
What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself. You're still here?
Whoa.
This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. Money was left inside. The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
If I believed Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Pieces from the pedestal. Traces of metal on stone. The iron mounting rod. The surface is damaged. Traces of metal. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal.
What did the police say?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and well, I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
You saw the statue running?
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see, the pedestal is now empty.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He is... was a club member, and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
And what about the statue?
No idea yet. I imagine a thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but...
Please, go on.
He said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout. He went outside and saw Greystoke lying on the ground, and... believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then. Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside. You're still here?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
The statue of Takun Uman.
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. No, it wasn't like that. It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tukunuman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
A murder.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal, and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorization for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more. You're still here?
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
Zacharias. These drawings. This dry. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them.
A murder.
You're still here?
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. Zacharias' folder with some documents. Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the victim's body in the autopsy room.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes. I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body.
The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive system damage. Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach. Apparently Zacharias had been drinking before his death.
This is where the spear entered the body. The murderer aimed for the heart. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled person. These scars...
Red eye. It looks like...
混戦はいいけど、この左目は良かった。
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
There's no need to disturb Lestrade for the time. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. Tissot watch. An ordinary pen. Money was... Oh, Zacharias had already translated some symbols.
I'm always ready.
Okay.
There's no need.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to have a closer look. Interesting. What are the symbols? I could use this dictionary to translate the calendar's glyphs. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message.
当てはめてくんねえなこれ。自分で書かなきゃいけない。もうそんなことでいいの？いやーめんどくせえ。もうこれ先にこれやっていけばいいのかな。これなんか数字変わった？あ、隠れてただけか。ここまでやったら終わりこれ。そうごめんなさい。これやったな。3、4やってねえか。俺なんか入った。あ、ちょっと待って。選ぶのか。おいおい、一からじゃねえか。何やってんだよ。せーな。とりあえず全部当てはめてから。 飾られし違うわ、聖なる神殿を乱す者には呪いが降りかかる。よみがえり地蔵により死を迎える。像により与えられる。あ？像により死を迎える。あれしものだけが
Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse. Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed. It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favor to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
No, no. Whyんだろう。二日酔い。機嫌がいいから銃の手入れ。女性の筆跡。寝不足は確かだ。なんでかっていうとお酒飲んでたから。OK! はい、完璧。
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonorable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So, he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
Poor Sir Charles. A crime at his club, it's a terrible thing.
Sir Charles, I have a search warrant. I would like to take a look inside the clubhouse.
I see. Here's the key, but I do protest. I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear.
Why won't the police say anything?
The late Mr. Bromsby's collection. The late Mr. The late Mr. The late Mr. Sutherland's collection. The late... Ah, Sir Charles was once a captain in the Guard. The 50th birthday. Charles Yellingham has a large. Interesting. It appears that the club is unable to pay its debts to the bank. A message to Sir Charles from Zacharias Greystoke, the victim. Zacharias Grey. I wonder... It's Sir Charles Yellingham. It's... I wonder who... Guatemala, 1881. photograph appears to have been faked or damaged. I'll take it. These antiques look quite... It appears that it's a part of a gold... This piece has been cleanly... These trunks have just arrived. They're from Zach. Interesting. The men who own these collections are all dead. This metal globe is very... Some bits of Some bits... Sir Charles, you informed me that you didn't know why Mr. Greystoke was here at such a time.
That's correct. I have no idea.
But in fact you do. Mr. Greystoke wrote to you about him coming with another person to visit.
Ah, well, yes, that is right. He raised a scandal about the Mayan calendar, so he wanted to see me before the ceremony. But I don't know exactly what it was that he wanted, or who this other person he mentioned might have been.
You have a fine collection at your club, with one disturbing thing in common.
Oh, all the items are from our club members.
But only from deceased members, including Mr. Greystoke.
Yes. But it is a rule of the club that all our members undertake to donate their personal collections to us in the event of their death.
It appears... I need... Let's gently remove the paint with a soft cloth. Aha. There's another person in the photograph.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look here. There's a person with a swollen eye who was concealed within this photograph. A dispute of some kind, do you think, Watson?
Possibly. But it appears to me a characteristic symptom of a rare tropical disease that is found in South and Central America.
South America! Brilliant, Watson!
Happy to help.
Is it deadly?
Well, there is a chance he survived.
I shall ask Sir Charles, but who knows what he'll say.
I have an idea. There is only one hospital for such illness. The Hospital for Tropical Diseases. I have friends who work there.
Oh, yes?
Well, the chances are slim, but I'll pay them a visit. If he's in London, they would have seen him.
That's not... Here it is. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. I found this photograph on your wall. You're in it, but do you know who these men are? Particularly the gentleman with the swollen eye.
Oh, him. But that's poor Mr. Albiot. He died from fever during an expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago. We were searching a Mayan Quiche temple, but everything went wrong. We were unable to enter the temple and the expedition ended in disaster. I'm here, and here is Zacharias. And there is Bernard Marley, another member. He's over there, near the pedestal. By the way, he's the fellow who built that terrible statue. He created it, must have been 10 years ago.
Albeit was a club member. Where is his collection?
Well, the devil if I know. We never did locate it. Mr. Marley is over there, near the statue's pedestal.
Poor Sir Charles.
Mr.
A
Bernard
crime at
Marley,
his
I
club,
presume.
it's a
My name is
terrible
Sherlock
thing.
Holmes. I have to ask you about an expedition to Guatemala.
Shh, not here. It's too dangerous. I'll give you my card. Visit me there where we can talk.
Keaton Street. Keaton Street. Excuse me, where is Grub Street?
It's that way.
Keaton Street.
I'm not expecting anyone.
Possum Street. Excuse me, where is Grub Street?
I don't know.
Cranny Street. Cranny Street. Grub Street. Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Ah, he's in his office. It's the door near the female statue in the corner of...
Fresh scratches. Something large and heavy was dragged here.
Mr. Holmes, you must forgive my escape at the club. It wasn't a safe place to talk.
And it's safer here?
Yes, better here. Not my office. I have secured my foundry, you know.
Huh, reassuring. Did you know Zacharias Greystoke, the victim?
Yes, he was a brave friend. Such good karma until yesterday.
Do you recognize the unwell man in this photograph?
By Jove, albeit. Yes, that's him. The poor fellow met his end in Guatemala. He was struck down by a terrible disease.
You were friends?
Not really, but he was an active member and a courageous man. Too courageous. You can't fight against the Quiche gods.
And what of the expedition? You were seeking a Mayan temple?
Yes, the temple of Tekun Uman. Another one of Charles's stupid ideas. We found it, but there was some kind of strange force that prevented us from entering. An evil aura. It was Tekun Uman's emanation. We could all feel it. Albeit its disease worsened suddenly, there was nothing we could do. And now, with Zacharias' death, the curse has reawakened.
After 14 years?
Prophecies are timeless. Even in the beyond, there is no escape.
Did Zacharias believe in the prophecy?
It is not a matter of belief, don't you understand? Zacharias was convinced that we could stop the curse by studying the calendar. What insanity! He sent me a message. He wanted us to visit the club and try to convince Charles to remove the calendar from the awards ceremony.
But you didn't go?
I knew Charles would refuse. Anyway, studying the calendar wouldn't help. Tekun Uman is far too powerful.
Your relationship with Charles Yellingham is...
not friendly. Well, it is reciprocal. You know, most of his expeditions are failures because he is too focused on his hypothetical career to be in politics.
He has political ambition.
That would be an understatement. He has ambitions for the House of Lords, and the club is his means of achieving this. It's also the reason for his disastrous management. But he still succeeds in finding money. I wonder how.
What's your opinion on Tekun Uman's statue having disappeared?
I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
But in fact, you do. You made the statue.
That's true. But it was 10 years ago. You can't blame me for that.
Don't you think so? After all, it is the statue that is responsible for killing.
No! It's Tekun Uman. But who could imagine that a simple statue replica would be chosen by Tekun Uman? Nobody. I have to leave you now. I've got paperwork to do. And we've spoken too much. He could hear us. Tekun Uman. Well, goodbye then. Sorry, I'm too busy to chat. Sorry, I'm too busy to chat.
There were 2 large boxes. A drawing of Takun Uman. A draw. No oxidation. This metal arm has never been out. This mechanism is quite modern. All the gears are of good... 2 large boxes which were inside the warehouse. They were taken to Bernard Marley's office. It's probable that the missing crates contained pieces of Takun Uman's statue. Marley is hiding something inside his office. I'll have to visit it, but at night, and with Watson. Horse of Pedro Alvarado. He was a conquistador, I believe. Apparently, Marley has built multiple statues of Takun Uman. A furnace for melting metal.
Sorry.
Caitlin's at Miss Alice's playing the piano. She disobeyed me.
Well, Holmes, I was inspired to... Oh, look here. The postman has made a mistake. He's delivered a letter addressed to Miss Alice.
Oh, he mistook 221B for 221C. Give it to me, Watson.
What are you going to do with it, Holmes? What are you...
I can't help myself. I must open this letter. It would be easier to open this letter if I steam it. Let's prepare. I need to turn... I need to... Miss Alice planned to live here because of me. Let's reseal it, as if it was never opened. Let's re... That's it.
Don't stop playing, Kate. I'm going to take some air on the balcony for a few minutes.
I need to speak with Miss Alice first. She's on the balcony. I need to speak with Miss Alice first. She's on the balcony. How about telling me why you came here in the first place?
Mr. Holmes, why do you ask? I hardly think that I'm accountable to you.
Since you extended an invitation to my daughter against my wishes, I believe that you are.
So said the father, cloaked in all his severity. My word, you almost frightened me.
You won't say that. Very well. Ask Caitlin to come home now.
Oh, poor child, let her play. Such insouciance. So useful for covering up disturbing secrets. And since you intend to hide the truth from her...
What?
We all have our secrets.
You...
But don't worry, Mr. Holmes. Caitlin is a sensitive child, and I like her enormously.
Alice, come back in. I can do it. See? You're wonderful.
I like to think that the feeling is mutual. We wouldn't want her to know of your secrets, or for her to be unhappy. I have to go inside now.
Ah, Holmes, I entirely forgot. There's a man corresponding to the photograph who is a regular...
Are you
And we can visit him, but... Holmes, Holmes, we have to go to the hospital. This should be the right place. Our man might be here.
Patients visit this department for treatment and then return home.
Oh, Dr. Watson.
Hello, Baird. My colleague and I are here to see Mr.
Ah, Byron.
Mr. Byron?
More doctors? Please. I've just received my treatment. I need to rest a while before I leave.
We would like to ask you some questions about an expedition that took place 14 years ago.
An expedition? What expedition? You're wrong. I've never left London.
Is it not you in this photograph from Guatemala?
Guatemala? Tecuna, man! Dr. Baird! Come here quickly, I don't feel well!
What on earth is going on? Please, calm down. I'm sorry, my dear colleagues, but Dr. Brunt is waiting to give Mr. Byron a private consultation. You can wait here.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Weren't you paying attention? We have to wait, but we'll take advantage of the situation. This address is almost invisible. He recently purchased Chinese to...
What should we...
He recently... Mr. Byron is due for... Our man passed by a circus.
Oh, you're still here?
Obviously. We're waiting for Mr. Byron. Is he not with you?
No, the gentleman left directly after his consultation. Oh, he forgot to collect his belongings.
Holmes, it seems that Albeit has escaped.
Obviously. And he knows that we're aware of his true identity. Quickly. I know how to find him. Thanks to the information I obtained at the hospital, I can now deduce where Albeit is hiding. We know that Albeit paid a visit to an opium den, a crowded market, and a circus. He also purchased... Let's find a place in London where all four elements are close together. Now we need to find a street name ending in OOK. Here it is. 21D Brook Street.
Do you hear that? Quick! We have to open this door.
The door's too strong and the lock... The door's too strong and the lock is too solid to break with bare hands.
No! Please help!
If I cut those ropes, the curtains will fall and block the attacker's view. I need something sharp to cut those ropes. This table could serve as cover. Watson, I'll try to reach those curtains to close them. Cover me. This table could serve as cover.